comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me, as always, is Ben Slinger.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How low can you go?
What are we doing tonight, Ben?
I think we're going to pitch some clicks.
Pitch
at
some
each
clicks?
Other. Yeah, play a little click.
We're going to ramp those. We're going to ramp that up, or are we going to?
I think we're going to go the classic.
Go the classic.
One word each.
One word each. Okay. So the name of the game is Click Pitch.
Mm-hmm.
We each have a random word generator. We get a single word.
Yes.
We take those words. We throw them at each other verbally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verbal,
not physically, verbally.
Verbal expulsion.
And then when we get those words each, we somehow condense that into a game design.
We savor them. We mull them over. We sort of do a little.
We mull
swish.
them over. We do the little the sniffing of
like the bouquet of the word.
Yep. We swill it around the mouth a bit, and then we spit it into the bucket when we're done with it.
Yeah, and then the game's in the bucket. The thing in this metaphor, because they're going to mix.
It's a game bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all kind of mix together, and then that's this podcast. So
at the end of
podcast is the bucket.
Bit bucket.
Exactly. It's a bit bucket.
Cool.
That's certainly not a thing by Atlassian.
No. I'm sure that made perfect sense to our audience. 3, 2, 1, click.
Gratitude.
Hugger.
Oh. I've been sort of on a bit of a Veronica Mars.
Okay.
Wanted to watch it again, and you said hugger, and I've just got this like detective sort of game where you're trying to find a serial hugger that just comes up behind people.
Consent.
Against consent.
Non-consensual hugger.
Non-consensual hugger.
Okay. I don't like the idea of kind of that local PI kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a non-traditional PI in some sense, in a contemporary setting.
In a contemporary noir.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Take some of the noir tropes, but yeah, I mean, as Veronica Mars did. Is this a licensed VM game, or are we just inspired by? Okay.
No. So, I mean, the place was called Neptune, and her...
Right. Oh, and Mars.
Her name was Mars.
So you play
the suburb's name is Mars.
And you play Betty Jupiter.
and you live in the suburb of Venus.
Yeah. Betty Jupiter who lives in Venus. For sure.
Or Uranus.
No, let's not go down the easy poop here.
I didn't say
Uranus.
Okay, serial hugger. So, this is, you know how Veronica Mars was set in a high school? This is set in a primary school. Okay, so you're like a 9-year-old. 9-year-old, and your dad's also a PI.
Yeah. Okay. And so I mean that's probably good, because the serial hugger then is a little bit more innocent around
a kid who just comes up behind.
Yeah, but nobody likes
behind people.
It makes them uncomfortable still, and Okay. So what are the tools then at your disposal? Are you going around sort of trading lunches with people to get information?
Yeah, I like that.
Using your toy binoculars.
You're searching for who stole the kids' lunch money, and you're doing little jobs here and there, but the main thing that you're trying to find out is, who hugged little Billy.
Who hugged little Billy? Oops, sorry, that was me moving my hand dramatically across the. Imagine
a bit of ASMR there.
Yeah, I'm imagining the title screen. I like that. I like the idea of really taking it seriously, but you're typing on your little toy laptop and stuff, or like a laptop made out of cardboard boxes that's been just the keys have been drawn on. But it's functional for some reason in
It's
the game.
100% functional.
Yeah, because it's your imagination.
100% functional.
It's
so
magical realism.
When you solve all these little things, obviously there's a lot of gratitude that comes your way.
Yeah. Yes.
And you can trade that. In fact, the currency is gratitude.
Oh,
sort of like,
interesting. Yeah.
You can get favors and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. You've solved someone's crimes before.
It's kind of like in other games they may do hint coins or something like that, but I like the idea that it's like it's gratitude points that you can actually cash in
hints,
to
basically.
Well, it's not really hints,
but it gives you some more information. Yeah,
more information that you wouldn't have had if you didn't like. I think you can solve it without doing it, but. You know, if you engage with the system, you're going to have a more rich experience because you're going to.
So I like this as a using some of those mechanics from the Curse of the Golden Idol, or the Case of the Golden Idol, whichever one it is. But it's like it's a school worksheet, right? You're filling in the gaps of the school worksheet, dragging in things. But the rest of it is more of like a third person. You're walking around the schoolyard, you know. Getting to know the other students in your class, because I'm also picturing it as maybe like a bit of an episodic thing, where, you know, you've got the one case and it's sort of involving one or two of the students and you get to know them a bit. But there's this whole cast of characters that, you know, the next episode might focus on a different student and their problems. Get a bit of a like, I'm sort of thinking like, I feel like, do you know those shows like Magic School Bus or something where there's like a whole gaggle of kids, and there's a couple that always stand out from the beginning, but over time you get to know like, oh, that's Jenny or whatever, you know, that sort of thing.
That's Betty's best friend, Brian.
Yeah, exactly.
He likes magic for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the weird kid who wears a top hat everywhere
and tries pulling a paper rabbit out of his pocket. Like not a hat, it's just out of his pocket, but it's always there. You can see the ears.
Yeah,
like
also he turns out to be the hugger.
100%. But the bunny told him to do it.
Oh yeah, because that's not better. That's It's okay. His imaginary friend whispered it in his ear and told him to do it.
Harvey.
And
it's, from the movie Harvey. Harvey's a giant bunny.
Oh, I don't know that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
3, 2, 1, click.
I thought maybe that was the name of the bunny in Donnie Darko.
No, it might have been because, Harvey is a very well-known, movie bunny that was imaginary.
It was just way creepier having that Donnie Darko bunny talking to a 9-year-old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Go and hug them. Okay. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah.
Dwindling.
Perfector.
That's interesting.
Yes.
One who perfects, I suppose.
I'd say so. Or it's more perfect. Perfector.
Perfector. Is it OR or ER?
ER.
ER. Okay, perfect. Oh, I mean, perfector.
More perfect.
Oh, no, hang on. Perfector.
Yeah, sure.
Right. As in you have perfected this. Not, yeah. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
No, fuck it. It's perfector.
Perfector. Okay.
It's more
They were perfect and now they're perfector.
Yes.
Okay. But then what's dwindling?
The perfectness of everyone else, because this person is so perfect.
Right.
They're
so
perfecter than everyone else.
Where everything just has to be perfect and perfecter and in line.
Yeah.
And is this a villain origin story where if you're not perfect and getting perfecter, then you don't belong?
You're going to fuck up those teeth. Yeah.
Not every villain we have has to be a dentist.
But this one does.
I guess that kind of makes sense from perfect teeth. But no, we did dentist stuff last week.
Yeah, I know.
What other sort of profession
needs to be perfect?
Would sort of, foster that level of perfectionism.
Ooh, okay.
Is it just someone who, has a store and they need everything to be like, you know, laid out perfectly there.
Ooh, you saying store sort of brought me down the idea of we haven't actually seen like a game that goes down like the OCD route. And maybe, you know, this character could be in charge of a store, but the problem is that they have severe OCD and you cannot move on in the story unless you perform your rituals. And I know it's a little bit hard because neither of us have, you know, these sort of
I think if we're getting into
but
the true OCD-ness, then that's definitely it gives us less to play with from a comedy perspective.
Yes.
But that's not to say there's not value in a game, I think, that would explore that and try to communicate, you know, how that might feel.
Yeah, it brings me back to when we had Emre on and he was talking about the game that they were doing that was to do with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And, you know, you walk into a room and then, you know,
turn
the
around
room
and it's a
completely
different room or
changes.
something,
And,
yeah, well, I wonder how, and again, neither of us have OCD. I don't know anyone with OCD. I know sort of general ideas about it. And it is around compulsions, right? Like it's obsessive compulsive disorder. So I wonder if in a game setting you could do things like, I mean, like you said, you literally cannot go past certain thing, like continue without doing certain things.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you can take that a step further with like the controls and stuff, like the mouse. If you try to move away from the thing you need to be doing, like the mouse slowly stops responding or like springs back.
Yeah,
or
it gets to a certain point and just will not go past this point.
Yeah.
And if you stop moving the mouse to that point, it does slowly start going back to...
It like drifts back to what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, that would be frustrating for the player, but that might be the point, right? Like, you must do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some interesting things you could do there with...
I kind of like the idea of, like, it doesn't start out that way, but your character starts developing habits based on, you know, your choices early on. Like, that just becomes a routine that, as, you know, it'd be something that you'd have to look into what can be causes, what can be triggers of this.
That's it. It's definitely the sort of game you'd want to consult with people on. But I like that as like I think a really interesting way that games, like, you know, interactive games can do more than just if you were trying to explain it, you know, in some other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I don't know enough about OCD to continue.
I know it's not very funny, but it's like it.
No, sometimes
it interests me.
Sometimes we just run into these ideas. I think that that would be really interesting for the right people to explore, and then I want to see the results.
I can imagine just playing a game where you're trying to leave the room, but you have to turn the light switch off 7 times.
Yeah, but I think what would be important is not just like, oh, your objective is flip the light 7 times.
No.
It's
that you cannot leave.
Some sort of real visceral, physical, you know, trying to communicate how that feels in someone's mind to doing that. Which I can imagine because it's
a first person thing where it's like you're trying to turn away, but all your vision starts tunneling in and all it's got focused on is...
Well, or you do something interesting in almost a similar way to that Alzheimer's one. You know you need to flip the light switch. You turn and you're still facing the light switch.
Yeah.
But not in just a like weird, you've fallen out of the map in Doom mirror way. But in a more, you know, it feels like it stays physically consistent, but somehow wherever you turn, you're still facing the thing you need to deal with because you can't defocus from it essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting. But let's 3, 2, 1 click.
3, 2, 1. Clickety-boo.
Clickety-boo. Shampoo.
Is that your word?
Yes.
Gym.
Oh. J-I-M or G-Y-M?
No, G-Y-M.
Okay. Shampoo at the gym. Okay.
This is getting very shower with your dad vibes to me.
Shower with your dad simulator.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's something about a shampoo bottle, a communal shampoo bottle at the gym.
Well, is it a communal shampoo bottle or is it like an abandoned shampoo bottle? It's sort of about like who...
It was abandoned and it became a communal one. But it's like, do you play the shampoo bottle after hours and it's...
You play the shampoo bottle and it's just from the POV of the shampoo bottle as you get passed around between all these naked dudes in it. And the conversations that they have.
That's how it starts. And as you get past, like, as you see the bottle go across, that's when the name comes up of each like starring
each
member.
Voice actor.
Starring Hugh Laurie as the shampoo bottle.
Hugh Laurie? Hugh Laurie is the shampoo bottle.
I'm thinking because we watched because we started playing The Quarry and that whole intro sequence.
Right.
You know, I'm literally seeing, you know, some awesome music and it's rather serious of this shampoo bottle sort of being passed around.
I thought you were going to say the performance capture. And it's got Hugh Laurie's face on the shampoo, perfectly
You see the
captured.
behind the scenes. You see the behind the scenes, and he's got like this big blue
foam, like
thing with Head and Shoulders written on it.
No, because they had that in post. It's just blue. It's just taped on. It's just to give him a sense of where the edges of his bottle is. Okay, anthropomorphic. You know, shampoo and conditioner. So who plays the conditioner? For some reason,
Stephen Fry,
James Acaster came to mind as another comedian. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the stereotyping to put Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry back together.
Okay, so Stephen Fry was actually the original owner.
Yeah, he shows
he's
up
the
for
antagonist.
Sure.
He's the antagonist.
Oh, who's the antagonist of a shampoo bottle? Is it the all-in-one? Making the shampoo obsolete.
I think it's the conditioner.
Oh, the conditioner is, but that's the why is that the antagonist? They work hand-in-hand, surely. Because
you know that Head and Shoulders is a 2-in-1.
Oh, so it's the standard. So Hugh Laurie is the 2-in-1.
No.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry, Hugh Laurie is the 2-in-1, and Stephen Fry is the standalone conditioner.
Right.
That never gets used.
That never gets used anymore. Okay.
And in flashbacks, you see the conditioner literally kick the 2-in-1 out onto the ground.
Okay. So I feel
in front
like
of a naked dude.
I think the conditioner though is not
literally drop the soap.
I think the conditioner though is not communal. Like someone brings that conditioner in, and and maybe it's who the shampoo used to belong to.
Mm-hmm. It's a bald guy.
It's a bald guy, but he heard that rubbing conditioner in your hair, on your scalp, will make it grow back. Or maybe
he washes the other hair on his body.
Is like a hair tonic or something. I mean, all I'm picturing though is Hugh Laurie doing the performance capture for like someone squeezing him onto their heads.
Oh yeah, they've literally got those guys in like the superhero suits, the bodysuit things, and they're squeezing him, so you see the indent sort of go, and then in the actual capture they turn it upside down, and so it looks like he's
right,
and the facial of just getting the shampoo squeezed out of it.
Is the whole of the shampoo their mouth? So it's less than just on the front like bottle, and it's more somehow a weird like they have to look up and just vomit out this. Now I'm just doing this to make Hugh Laurie have to do undignified things.
But it's a really kind of fun coming of age tale. Okay, what else does Hugh Laurie come across in this gym?
Yes, okay. So, I mean...
Lots of water bottles. There's the anabolic steroids. Like, there's a whole, like, gang.
Or like the maybe
a
not
gang
as far
of
as the steroids,
gang
but
of
at least
syringes.
like the jeez, I feel like it's getting too dark. That's like extreme. But I feel like the weight powder and stuff, right?
They're like
the-
nerds. they're all nerdy, like, oh, you can have us and you can get strong.
but they're all like skinny and weak.
And got glasses. And
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know.
The discarded like gym towel in the corner. It's just crusty with sweat. And
Funnily enough, his name is Jim.
yeah, that's actually a gym.
J-I-M.
Yeah.
Jim the Gym Towel.
This is weird.
It is.
3, 2, 1, click.
So good, though. So good.
I mean, just for the Hugh Laurie vomiting shampoo through performance capture. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Pothole.
Consulate.
Oh, okay. Well, this could maybe just be the inciting incident for something where there's a pothole outside the consulate.
Yeah.
Which creates some sort of international incident.
Ooh. Is it one of these potholes that starts off as a pothole but becomes a sinkhole because it doesn't actually get, like, attended to, and turns out there's more problems with the land outside this consulate and it starts a war?
It's because there's some mineral that
Unobtainium.
Yeah, it's unobtainium. They discovered there was a vein of it at this certain place, and they built the consulate on top of it in this other country's, land. And they've been
or it's
mining
vibranium, and this is part of the Marvel universe. It just so happens.
Universe. Okay, so it's definitely the US then have just like put a consulate on some other country's soil and have been secretly mining vibranium from beneath the consulate while otherwise keeping up pretenses.
I actually thought this was on US soil, and
no, because
the consulate was accidentally put on there, and then the US were trying to, secretly dig it out from underneath them when they realized. Because that's something that the US would do.
I mean, they're both something the US would do. Is this about like maybe the US finally gets a consulate in Wakanda?
Yeah.
But they've started like trying to steal shit. Trying to steal the vibranium. I'm not enough of a Marvel nerd to figure out the story beats around this.
I know, but I do like the idea of it doesn't even have to be Marvel. Like, just the idea that this whole thing has started a war between these, obviously once allies, because there's a consulate there and all this sort of stuff, and now a simple pothole has actually turned into a international incident that.
All right. Well, what I like to do when I'm uncomfortable with putting actual current day countries and stuff on blast, move it to space.
Yes.
We're on a different planet.
Yes.
Maybe they're all fucking aliens. Who cares?
Yes.
But yes, now you're embroiled in this political kerfuffle that they're on the brink of war. Who are you? Are you just like a lowly,
I like the idea that
consular employee. You're just stamping passports and things or whatever. Like,
I kind of like the idea that you're like the media person for,
like
as in the press secretary or whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Working within the government, talking to the media.
And so your whole thing is you need to spin
right
this whole thing to your constituents,
like a dialogue based.
This is a good thing.
Yeah.
And you're effectively choosing the right thing. But of course, the people in control, like, they are making stupid decisions and you've got to justify.
Right.
It's the old impro thing of leap, then justify. Well, they leapt fucking far.
Yeah, and they left it to you to justify.
Yep.
So how does this play out then? Are you, choosing responses, or are you like putting together a statement?
I think you're putting together the brief.
Yeah.
So you have conversations, and those conversations, you may get some buzzwords from different people.
Are we going for like the Aaron Sorkin style, like walk and talk? I kind of like the idea of, how in games like Assassin's Creed and stuff now, or like Red Dead Redemption or something where like you're following someone and it'll line you up with them and you'll be walking at their pace.
Yeah, you can just hold down a button and it'll just keep that pace.
Yeah, it keeps that pace. You're doing that, but with people walking around this busy office and you're just getting snippets of information. They start talking to you about what they need.
And at any time you can veer off into another conversation.
Off and they just keep going and they start talking to someone else. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I love it. It's just, there's all these different walking tracks throughout this whole office. And all you're doing is you're dealing with your one consulate, like that. They've decided to go to war over this whole thing, and I think the initial conversations are all about, beware of the pothole as you're exiting the drive and all this sort of stuff. It's
right. It starts off and the sinkhole hasn't even happened. It's just right. Yeah, actually, I like that you're like the press person. I don't know what the actual role would be. It doesn't really matter. It's an alien government. You're the press glug who has to.
That's now the name of the episode. Press glug.
Who is just dealing with this small consulate in like a mostly they are an ally of your country, of course, but whatever, they're not nothing special. And so, your day-to-day when you start is just you're trying to talk to people. Well, there's a pothole outside the consulate. Like, what should I say about it or whatever? And everyone's just brushing you off because they've got more important things to deal with. And that's sort of
you'll get a couple of little buzzwords of that people have sort of said that you get in one light, but you can spin that to a different sort of light. So
I like that. And again, almost we've already used this inspiration this episode, but like in the case of the Golden Isle sort of thing again, it's almost like you're unlocking words that you're then going to be able to plug into your speech later, or your responses they're basically, or something.
Throughout the whole game, you are building your vocabulary. And you're getting new describing words and
that's good actually, because I like then having particular words that you can use multiple times in the same sort of situation, but you get a different take on it when you use it again. If you're talking, if you're trying to deflect a question or something, then you've got certain phrases or certain things that you can use.
But if you rely on something too much, then the media starts picking up that it's like, oh, that's your crutch,
your go-to. For sure.
And so it's all about like, I like the idea that you have time slows down and you get to craft the best answer. And
that's fun. So I think that tutorial, it's almost the tutorial of you get a few of the words, few of the phrases you need by talking to sort of the more important people who are going about like other international incidents or like what the president's gonna, do when he gets to fucking such and such. And then you go out and you talk to the people about the pothole. And as you finish like your third question or whatever, it collapses beneath everyone. Like the road
it collapses, but the reason why they're actually so angry is because the president was, of your country was just driving over the pothole at the time that it just collapsed into the sinkhole, and you've now got a major incident on your hands that you're.
I don't know. I kind of like actually. What if the tutorial is you manage to get something signed which lets you fix the pothole, and so you're out there and you've crafted your statement. It's like, yep, we're fixing the pothole, and like they come out with a fucking jackhammer or whatever to like clean it out so they can fill it properly, and it just goes straight through. And it's just like whoa, your face just like drops as the reporters like
the press gallery all just collapse in on each other because they all happen to be standing basically like in the driveway.
Well, because they're all watching it. All the cameras were there. It's like government actually gets something done was going to be the headline. But then it turns out that your government has been mining under everything, stealing their resources. And then you have to start spinning that. As that comes to light.
Yeah.
First it's just the hole. And it only comes out a bit later that wait a sec, there's like remnants of vibranium or whatever, and obtanium. They were found there, and you find out that stuff.
McGuffinium.
McGuffinium. That might be the episode title.
McGuffinium. I do like that. McGuffinium.
I kind of love that. I love that. Then, you get pulled back inside, and then it's back to fast talking, going between conversations. Now they're actually listening to you in some ways, but also just like they still don't, you're still not important at this point. It's not until you actually start managing to spin some of these worst things that you start kind of getting a bit more status and a bit more respect. I like that a lot. That's really cool. It'd be something about it difficult to actually make from a writing perspective and that sort of thing. But I love the idea of it.
Yeah, especially because, I think you'd need a real systems-based sort of thing.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, in a way, but you'd have to have all these pre-written... Like, I'm sort of picturing it as like...
a version of Storylets that
I don't even know
kind
if
of works from...
It's almost like you'd have to have all these conversations written and recorded, knowing that the player might not see most of them in... like when they play, because it really depends on, you're going to have multiple places that get different.
You do it in an indie way, whereas it's, Charlie Brown's parents talking. Wah, 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 wah.
Oh yeah, but you still need stuff. You say, but then you just get the keywords out.
you write down the text on the screen. Like they don't.
But even then, just the writing though, right? just having that written is tricky.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, we're done. Got carried away. Well, that's all we have time for. So if you want to find the rest of our episodes online, go to podchaser.com/bitstorm. Check them out. Leave us a review as usual and enjoy.
Do you like the song that we play at the start and the end of the episode, Ben? Because I certainly do. That song is called Mount Defiance, and it's on the album Containment Failure, and that can be found at curatus.bandcamp.com.
For a little while.
While the site is still away. While the site is still alive.
Yeah. That's right. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
Press Glug to continue.